day 79,
And he's given up trying to learn his own bloody theme song on the ukulele.
and I still don't have a phone. Having to resort to spending time with my housemate.
Oh, fuck off.
It's so hard out here in the wastelands of London. Today we ate together, we talked to each other, and goddammit if we didn't watch a movie. It's getting so hard, I just hope that somebody finds this message and can, in time, and save me from myself.
Yeah, well, if another one of your farts cuts the Wi-Fi off, then there's fuck all chance of them here.
That happened one time, and it was a coincidence. You can't blame that one fart on the Wi-Fi suddenly dying.
Bloody can.
Like the router suddenly freaked out.
Changing the atmospheric pressure.
No, I scared the router. Scared the router and turned the internet off. It was just a coincidence. It's just one of those things that happens.
Yeah, well, if you didn't fart so frequently, those coincidences wouldn't happen quite so often.
I told you that I can't have lots of food groups. Like vegetables. I can't eat vegetables. They do things to me.
No, it's the fact that a vegetable hits your system and your system doesn't know how to cope with it is the reason that you fart. It's all backed up behind the meat.
There's hardly any meat. My system survives mostly on 2-minute noodles and cornflakes. I'm a hell of a man. Also,
The cornflakes
Percy
bung
Pigs.
you up as well.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But hey, as long as I poop once a week, we're okay. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, I'm just
Lots of
remembering,
people
I'm
only
just
poop once a
remembering
week.
Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo and the
You promised we'd never talk about that
natural disaster that almost was.
again. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was dealt with a stick.
Or you calling it an unnatural disaster? Because I think it's an unnatural disaster. But, you know,
We all learned don't overdo it at Christmas. Like that's the lesson that we all learned.
Yeah.
You know?
an excess of cheese and turkey.
I don't even like turkey. We don't really eat it in New Zealand. I'm not used to that either. Clearly had an effect on me.
Yeah.
Let's move on, shall we? What have you been up to today?
Well, you know, usual fashion. I got up, fed the dogs,
Well done.
emptied the dishwasher, loaded the dishwasher.
Yeah, cool.
The food delivery came, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
unpacked it all and put
Yeah.
it all away.
That's good.
Uh,
And how long did you work the little voodoo doll for today?
What voodoo doll?
The little voodoo doll that I know you've got stashed away.
What?
Like, you keep trying to pretend like it doesn't exist and like you're not stabbing it on a daily basis, but I feel those pangs.
Mm.
I feel those pangs while
know
I'm
what those
lying there
pangs are?
holding my belly.
Those are pangs that you should get up and do something.
Like, use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once a week.
Yeah.
That's the schedule.
Or clean it, maybe. How long have you been in?
Why would we clean the bathroom?
Why would you not clean the bathroom?
Well, we're not having guests over.
No, but for each other.
I
I've
don't
been
see the
cleaning
point.
it once a week while you've been here. Have you even attempted?
I haven't.
No.
But at the same time, neither have I grossed it up on purpose. If I see a stray pube fall from my person, I pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
decent human
It's
being.
not just that. It's the soap scum. The soap scum.
The
And just-
Santorum, is that what you said?
Just well, yeah, that probably. All sorts of stuff. You just have to clean. You just have to hoover.
Uh-huh.
You know, these things happen.
Uh-huh.
Well, they happen around you or while you're in bed asleep.
Hmm. I see.
You think the magic fairies do it, like they put the vegetable peeler away.
If you bothered to dress up as a fairy when you did it, I might come down to watch.
Awesome.
I'd be more engaged in the whole process.
Mm.
Yeah. What else did you do today?
I ate sourdough bread.
Did you? Was it more successful than Steve?
It's still Steve. It's Steve's son of Steve.
Son of Steve? Please continue.
And then I made dinner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And what have you done today?
Well, I've been trying to process that dinner and turn it gaseous.
Okay.
And I think I'm being very successful. I think I'm working that process out and doing doing a damn good job.
Mm.
Thumbs up me. Of course, I'm having to keep half a thumb up me. Now, I didn't get up today. It's true. It's true. I wallowed a little bit in bed. But that's because I was sad.
I know, but I failed to see the difference between today and what you do, or what you've done for the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's a little cutting. I am sad all the time. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know,
You're like the boy who cried wolf.
why?
Because you don't get up,
Yeah.
and you don't get up,
Uh-huh.
and you don't get up,
Yes.
and that wears on my patience.
Right.
And then
What am I-
when you're sad, you don't get up. And it's like,
Yeah, but
you've
I
used
don't
that.
I don't get up even harder.
Mm.
Like when I'm really sad, the difference is not only am I not asleep, but I'm also still in the bed.
Mm.
If I'm happy, I might be asleep. Or I can remove myself from reality.
I think
Yes.
you removed yourself from reality when you moved in here.
How so?
Well, the absence of doing anything around the house. You know, that whole functioning as a human being.
No. No, I don't really have that on lock right at the moment.
No.
Yeah, same old, same old. Every day is another strain, another arduous journey through.
Are you talking about having a poo again?
No, that's only once a week. I'm talking about every day. Nobody poos every day. It's just silly. No, it's just the monotony of existence.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
whole.
When what was the deal? What was the
What do
deal?
you mean? What deal?
What were our respective roles? That I would.
You would feed us
Yeah.
and keep us alive.
And what would you do?
I would entertain.
Mm.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say I'm keeping my end up.
Yes, but you demand entertainment every moment of the day. Is that why you're annoyed that I'm in bed? You want me out with my hand puppets, doing my little cookie dance, Just
Well, a bit like pooing. What once a week is.
What?
Well, it would be better than nothing.
Are you saying you're not even entertained once a week?
Other than Lego, I can't think when you've made an effort.
Made an effort to what?
Entertain me.
To entertain you.
Mm.
You cannot be entertained. Nothing entertains you. We've talked previously about when I try to make a decision about what movie we're going to watch. You don't want to know. I bought you a book.
Yeah.
Have you read the book?
No. No, I've got my own books to read. I'm
See,
halfway through one.
but see,
already.
But I think that kind of sums it up. Like I did try,
Yeah.
and you just shot it down straight
No, I
away.
haven't shot it down. You said I should read it when I finish the book that I'm reading. I haven't finished reading the book that I'm reading.
I don't think you have any intention at all of reading the book I got you.
Oh, I don't know. I'll dip into it, see how it goes.
I can see the look on your face. You have no intention of reading it. Yeah. Well, you can't say I don't try to entertain you on some level. Try to get you out of the house. It's not like you're always the one. Like
What did I say to you
Insisting
yesterday
you
I
walk the
wanted to
dogs?
do
It's-
today?
you want to go to the garden centre.
I wanted to go out and do something. And what have we done today?
Yeah, and I said, well, what? And you couldn't come up with any suggestions. And then, and so, we stayed home. I think it was probably wise we stayed home. It fucking pelted down today.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock in the evening.
It rained a bollock off.
Yeah, everywhere would have been shut by then.
What? I stayed in bed most of the day because I was sad. I think I was entirely justified in that because I've been genuinely sad. And if people want to know why I've been so sad, you can go and listen to episode 77. And it's all in there. Most of it. Yeah. But that's, I lay in bed a good portion of last night, unable to sleep, having that all going around in my head. And then when I woke up early this morning, much earlier than usual, I just continued to lie in bed and wallow in the sadness.
And now it's the evening, and it's been a hard, hard day. Once again, the harpy that I live with is riding me, cursing me, telling me how useless I am. She's right, of course, but it hurts to hear.
What? I'm trying to be entertaining.
By calling me a harpy.
Oh, well, I was in character.
Mm.
You want to do a movie review? We did watch a movie.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. What was it called?
It was called Guest House Paradiso. Now, we should be honest from the outset. We watched Guest House Paradiso, but what we were actually looking for was a Harry Potter film. You wanted to watch Harry Potter, and you got Guest House Paradiso instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing we watched, though, is it? We started watching 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the 1964 edition or whatever.
1954.
54, the original Disney version. And then I went and made dinner. And then you wanted to watch something about the puppets.
Yes, I watched a documentary which was all about Jerry and Sylvia Anderson making programs like Thunderbirds and things like that.
That was quite interesting.
Yeah, it was good. And then we watched Guest House Paradiso. Yeah. Although it seems for some reason I've suddenly lost the ability to pronounce the T at the end of the word guest. I don't know why that's disappearing. So I'm saying it wrong every time. Would you like to begin?
It was funny. It was like Bottom, but an hour and a half long. Hour and 29 minutes to be precise. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Good review.
I preferred that. So what was the movie that Rick Mail did donkeys years ago? I want to say Right Said Fred, but that's not it, is it? Drop Dead Fred. Yeah. I didn't enjoy Drop Dead Fred as much as I enjoyed The Thing Today. I thought today's film was better, yeah.
I think that's a terrible indictment on Drop Dead Fred. I think Drop Dead Fred's a really good movie. Yeah. I think as a kids movie, it's well in line with the kinds of kids movies that I liked from the 80s that still had swearing and Phoebe Cates in them. So, I thought Drop Dead Fred's great.
Maybe I should watch it again then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find too many people saying that Guest House Paradiso was better than Drop Dead Fred. I think that's it's a rare view. But please continue with the summation of the film. What happened?
So Rick Mail, Richie and Eddie, the characters from Bottom, are running a guest house that's on its last legs because they're shit, and their staff keep leaving, and it ends up just being the two of them running it. And then they have a famous actress check-in who wants to hide from the paparazzi, and they have a family check-in who don't know how they ended up there.
But it includes Simon Pegg.
Which is, early role for Simon Pegg. And there's a old lady who lives there and has paid 5 years in advance. So is a permanent feature. Although that is a thing, it's cheaper to check into a hotel and have them do your laundry and look after you, feed you every day than it is to go to a care home.
Is it actually?
Mm.
Is that a real thing in England? Because I always wondered about that. Because you had that old guy living in the hotel in Fawlty Towers as well. So that's cheaper than living in a rest home. Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not if you stay at, the Hilton. But, you can get particularly, British coastal towns off-peak, off-season, £25 a night. Bed and breakfast.
Okay, I'm learning. So, what hijinks ensue in this film?
Oh, loads of stuff. Oh, the other three. The main reason that the guest house is on its uppers is that it's next door to a nuclear power station, and there's a nuclear power leak, and they eat the fish, or they serve up the fish that have been poisoned by the nuclear leak, and it makes everybody ill, and they are violently ill. There is projectile vomit left, right, and centre.
It is certainly
It is neon green.
I would almost go as far as saying it's the most vomit I've seen in a movie.
Yeah.
There's a couple of real classic New Zealand splatter films that have a lot of vomit,
Yeah.
and a couple of like comedy spoof movies.
Yeah.
I think one of the Naked Gun movies had a scene that was lampooning Poltergeist, or what's that other one?
The Exorcist.
Yes, and there was a lot of vomit in that one. And I think it was Brain Dead. Is the New
Yeah.
Zealand one with heaps of vomit,
Yeah.
and then they all eat the vomit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of vomit. But this, I think, tops the lot. I think, you had how many people were projectile vomiting? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8?
Well, there was the guy who was on his honeymoon, the husband and wife,
Yeah,
and then the old lady.
yeah, and then the family of 4
But not all of them were vomiting. It was
And
only,
then-
it was,
and
it was
Gino.
it was the mum and dad.
who were
and
vomiting,
Gino, yeah.
and the children.
And one of the children. You didn't see the
No,
boy do
you
it.
did. Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah, they were all hoofing it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably just didn't see him through the wave of vomit.
No.
There was a lot of vomit. But yeah, a reasonably enjoyable film. And I think it was pitched to us by Netflix because they've just added it. So,
Yeah.
I
It's
really...
an old film, 20 years old.
Yeah, funny old thing. And it was actually directed by Adrian Edmondson. Didn't
Yeah.
realise that to the very end.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever directed anything else. Like, he and Rick, they wrote... I don't know that Aid was involved with writing The Young Ones, but he definitely, co-wrote a lot of their other stuff, things like Bottom. Like, it was,
Yeah.
and he did the music for Bottom as well with his little band, the Bum Notes. Because he's a very involved musician. He also showed up unexpectedly in one of the recent Star Wars movies.
Did he?
Yeah, as one of the Imperials on the bridge, but he's so understated that you hardly even noticed it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where am I going with this?
I don't know.
I thought I was going somewhere. Oh, I
You
wanted
fell down a Adrian, what's his name?
an Adrian Edmondson hole.
Yeah.
I did somewhat. Yeah,
Mm.
I started.
Would you fall down his other hole if you were given the chance?
Oh, I think
Are you a fan?
I am very, very rarely starstruck. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
And but I think if I met him, I think I'd be a little bit dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like, if I was dating one of his daughters, and then she was like, "Oh, my dad's Adrian Edmondson," and she took me home to meet Adrian Edmondson, and I had to walk in there and shake his hand. And I don't always make the best first impression with parents, but I kind of feel like in that moment, I would log one. I
You would what?
would log one. Yeah.
Shit your shorts?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I would be a little bit dumbstruck. Yeah, even thinking about it is sucking the words from my mouth
Okay.
and my
as long as
brain.
it's not filling your shorts.
It could be.
Yeah.
I haven't checked my poop diary for the last time that I went. So,
What was the? Do you really keep a diary?
of when I poop,
Yeah.
yeah, I give myself a little gold star.
Okay.
Stick it on the page there.
What was the thing about? What did we watch where they said don't shit the sheets?
That was that movie.
Oh, that was that.
That was
movie.
one of the golden
Yeah.
rules of the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get shit on the sheets.
Yeah.
Um,
New house rule.
That's the thing. It wasn't the greatest film in the world, but there were a lot of really amazing little golden nuggets hidden
Yeah.
throughout it. Yeah. So, definitely worse things to watch. I was going to say that I really enjoyed Bottom as a series.
Mm.
And I think the pacing of that is a lot better because it's a shorter format. And this at an hour and a half long was maybe just a touch on the long side. But yeah, it's good. It's good. If you want a really good giggle though, something that a lot of people outside of Britain haven't seen is Bottom live on stage. So they made quite a few of those in the end. I think they were quite good money spinners. So, they go and do Bottom live on stage, these sort of 1 hour shows, and tour them around, maybe even 2 hour shows. I think they're quite long.
Don't know.
But they'd tour them around all over Britain, and people would turn out in droves, cash money, chang chang, get us a boat and a new banjo. Yeah, they're great. They are really entertaining, mostly because when things go wrong, they just have to carry on, right? And they're really good at that. So, like, something goes wrong, they're working with the audience.
They
and
ad
then,
lib and
yeah.
get around it. Yeah.
So they're really brilliant. So if you want to go and find something, yeah, really entertaining. Find Bottom live. I think there's a whole bunch of them. And, yeah. You know, or if you're just a huge Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson fan, you know, Guest House Paradiso, why not? It's better than fucking, what is it? Kevin and Perry bum each other up a holiday or something.
Kevin and Perry Get Large.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's definitely better than that.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our review. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I only
Yeah,
said
I'd give-
about 50 times.
Yeah, I'd give it 7.5.
7.5!
Yeah.
Woo! That is huge. Is it for children?
No.
Oh, come on now.
No, I think it's a PG. I think so. Yeah, probably for older children.
How old?
I don't know, age 10,
10 and up?
10 and up. Yeah.
10 and up? Yeah. I think a lot of children would enjoy the slapstick and, you know, the bottom humour and, you know, the
Yeah, but
vomit.
it's got a dildo in it.
Oh, just the one.
Yeah, but I
Just
think
the one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got a couple of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But, you know, they break the fourth wall at that point to acknowledge it and say
Yeah.
that they, you know, tried not to have that sort of thing in the movie. It couldn't be helped. Shall we? We've got nothing else to talk about. Do we want to quickly talk about the other stuff we watched today?
Yeah, we could do.
Okay,
We
20.
could talk about the weather.
It's wet. Okay, so 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Hit me. Super fast.
It was a Disney movie from the 50s. You know,
Mhm,
it was very lots of English people speaking very Englishly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. You got obsessed with a guy wearing a red and white striped T-shirt.
Because he
possibly
was.
'cause
Because he had
you've
no
got
other clothes.
you've got a red and white striped T-shirt and you don't look as good in it.
Well, it's just that they bunged him in the front of every shot at the start of the movie. I'm like, well, he's obviously not going to die. Like, he's one of the main characters. And
The
then, yeah,
harpoonist.
he's just got the same T-shirt on for, like, the rest of the film. And it's just gross. Because he always looks sweaty, but he's wearing the same T-shirt. Yes, funny.
Did you watch it all the way to the end
I watched it until the internet crapped out. But
when you farted?
I don't think that was that time, no. I think
Okay.
I think the
You
internet
farted more than once
I did, but the internet crapped up repeatedly today, and we think
because
it's
you kept.
no, it's probably weather related.
Yeah.
If we're fair,
Although the changing pressure in the room makes my ears pop when you toot.
what a neat trick. I did watch quite a bit of this movie though.
Hello, John's dad.
Hi, John's dad. Hey, Granddad.
Hello, Grandad.
I hadn't watched it before. I'd seen bits of it, obviously,
Yeah.
but never the whole
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah, that's why I put it on.
Um,
Prove my point. It's a Disney film. You loved it.
It's I thought the actual production of it was interesting because a lot of the effects still hold up.
Yeah.
Like the sets were great, the lighting
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Even
Special effects filmed underwater.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
was pretty good. And then like I don't know, there was a song at the start. Let's pretend that never happened. Like that freaked me out. It was terrible.
About
But-
kissing girls. Are
Hey?
you jealous?
I don't know. It was just a sailor and a bunch of other seamen. Like, you're so mature. And anyway,
Sea men.
I was more
Seamen.
concerned with the fact that his guitar only had 4 strings. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck's this about?
Yeah.
You're
Sounded
shonky.
good though.
Shonky. Yeah, because he wasn't playing it. He very strategically turned away from camera whenever he had to play anything difficult. It was kind of funny. But,
I don't think that was him singing either.
oh, well, yeah.
But anyway.
But a lot of the effects stood up really well. And it's quite famous for having this scene where they fight a giant squid.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I knew about that scene because it's so famous. And I thought, well, this squid's going to look like shit.
Yeah.
This movie's from 1954.
Yeah.
This is going to be just hilarious in how crappy it's going to be. But it wasn't. The underwater shots of the squid were really well done. It looked like a squid. When it attacked the boat, it had a proper moving beak and all this other stuff. The tentacles were pretty believable. The shit is this? This is great.
Well,
They've done an amazing job.
back in the day, Walt Disney, the Disney Empire, used to go out and film animal stuff. Like, you remember that bit where they had a false alarm and it was a school of dolphins rather than the monster appearing.
No.
Excuse me. Well, Disney used to go out and film animals so that, you know, the cartoonists could make accurate portrayals of them in the animated stuff, and so they could splice it into that kind of film. And that's the start of nature documentaries.
Weren't they the ones though that they were also the ones that went out and threw all those lemmings off a cliff? You know, because the whole the myth with lemmings is that they'll all just run off a cliff and just follow each other off a cliff.
Yeah.
And that's completely fabricated bullshit, courtesy of the Walt Disney Corporation. And that they killed a bunch of animals and all that sort of stuff, filming these sort of nature documentaries.
I don't know. Anything
Pretty
about
sure.
that. Okay.
Anyway, no lemmings died in the... Well, I don't know. I mean, Disney might have gone out and stamped a couple underfoot while whacking it, in a closet somewhere. That might have been his thing. But I thought the movie itself was kind of okay. I thought it stood up. Like, I mean, that's so long ago. But the effects and everything, it looked great. It stood up. It was good. So if you want to explore an ancient film, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Good.
Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, it's all right.
And a score out of 10, please.
I didn't watch all of it. You watched more of it than I did because I
Okay.
was in the kitchen making dinner.
That's true. Nobody forced you.
No, but I do
Nobody-
need to eat.
Nobody held a gun to your head.
No, but again, I do need to eat.
Also, we don't have a gun. I looked. So, out of
That's
10.
what you think.
Out of 10.
From what I saw, I would probably say 6.
6.
Yeah.
Just based on its age,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
I think it was. It held up so well. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard to
Okay.
find
Yeah.
holes in it.
Yeah.
The other thing that we watched was a documentary called Super Marionation, which was the technical puppeteering technique that they used in all of the Jerry and Sylvia Anderson programming, and there was a lot of it. And so this documentary basically explored, a lot of their work, not all of their work.
Just the puppets.
Well, sort of. No, not even that, because
Did they do puppet porn? Did that get cut out?
no. Although Sylvia Anderson's a fox. Like, you're seeing all this vision of Sylvia Anderson when she was younger, and she's really good looking. And Jerry Anderson really isn't. And it's just like, dude, you are punching so far above. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I was dumbstruck. I was like, are you kidding me? Because they had all these interviews with her in the documentary where she's an old lady. You're like, that's how I know Sylvia Anderson. Like, to me, she's always been an old lady. And then you have all this other vision of her. And I'm like, oh, damn. Damn. Anyway, I'll get over it. Maybe in a couple of days. It cheered me up more than thinking
See if you
about
bone her grandchildren.
other old ladies. I probably shouldn't. I kind of get the feeling like a lot of celebrities wouldn't let me near them anyway, especially their children. So, Super Marionation, super interesting documentary because it was so thorough. There was so much sort of old vision from the older shows that they did.
Yeah.
Pre
I liked
Thunderbirds.
it because it was presented by Parker and Lady Penelope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting way of presenting the documentary. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, this just all that old vision that they had and the way that they developed the techniques and the thing that
And
really
I liked it because I've been to the Weta Studios and
Yeah, but
seen the
that's-
modern version.
but that's the New Zealand made one,
Yeah.
not the what they did. This is the crazy thing at the end of production when they finished up.
Like
And-
trashed it all.
Let me finish them. You always steal punchlines. So anyway,
Punchline, it's not a joke.
Anyway, as she said, what happened at the end when the production house went under is that they went in with a bunch of sledgehammers, this company, and they just went in and destroyed everything and threw it in skip bins. Which, if you know any of that production stuff, it's all amazing models and puppets and all of the stuff that should be in museums. And they just went in and trashed it and threw it all away.
Some of it must have been kept.
And they did it like the day that production finished. They went in and did that.
No, it wasn't the day production finished. It was the day the company went under.
Yeah, but they were saying like that's, all the staff were there. That's what they're saying in the documentary. Ugh. Yeah, it's a horrible thing to think about. But they made a lot of really cool programming, but the documentary only covers up until they sort of go into live action. So after Thunderbirds, you had Joe 90, Captain Scarlet. What's the horrible one with the priest?
Bishop.
Yeah, but what's his
I can't remember.
what was the actor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unwin. Something Unwin.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's really famous in the UK, or used to be famous in the UK, because he spoke his own language, which was called Unwinese. And it's just a bunch of bollocks, really. But, he was quite gifted at speaking this style of bollocks.
Yeah.
And
It's just basically took the last syllable of the thing and put it at the front.
well, he based a career on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, they made a series with him where they mixed live action and puppets together, and he was a
Yeah.
priest, and it really didn't work. I've watched a little bit of it on YouTube, and it's pretty close to diabolical.
It's how you get puppets to run, isn't it? It's not have the puppets run. You film somebody else's legs.
You can't mix the shots together. It just looks...
Although with the hands, they did it
rubbish.
with the hands with Thunderbirds, and that worked.
Yeah, but it was a very slight close-up, and it was a very minor thing. Like, they were
Yeah.
always interiors, and they had, like, the little set pieces and stuff that they built that the hands were using looked like they were part of the set.
Oh, okay.
Whereas what
Yeah.
was happening in this other series that I can't remember the fucking name of, sorry about that, is that they had big wide shots and cars driving down the road and stuff like that. So you'd
Yeah.
see the car driving down the road and get, say, pulled over by a cop car, and that's all real life and real humans. And then when they cut to the close-ups, suddenly they're puppets again. And it's like, what? It just doesn't work.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
So that was one of the last things that they made. And then he went into doing live action stuff, and it was live action, but all the sort of spaceships and things that they would use would all be models.
Mm.
Things like Space 1999 looked like all the spaceships and everything, and that looked just marvelous. But in the 80s, he went on and did another series called Terrorhawks, which was quite cool. And Space 1999, Terrorhawks, all that sort of stuff is missing from this documentary. But it's otherwise really, really interesting, and they cover off all sorts of really interesting stuff about the production and the stuff that they built, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Documentary-wise, I'm going to give it a little 8.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
There's an 8. Tick. Okay, that's enough. I've got work tomorrow, so apologies, but tomorrow's episode might be
Late.
late. I could try. We could try and do it. But it's things have gotten a little bit complicated. The
Yeah,
recorder that we use no longer wants to record things onto SD cards, and we have to sort of ham-fistedly push things through a computer, and it's just
I'm not doing that.
yeah.
I'm
And
not interested.
it's time for bed. You need to go off and watch some pornography and fap yourself senseless, and I need to go and do some actual work before I go to work tomorrow, and then I think Monday happens.
Mhm.
Monday will be another grisly day of facing up to the reality of not having a telephone and still not having it delivered and not having the courier website page updated. They really are putting me through the through the meat grinder with this thing. Like pages like look at it. This is the parcel tracking page. It has said the same thing
What does it say?
for like 10 days.
I can't read it. What does it say?
It says order information has been transmitted to DPD.
Mm.
Yeah. And I don't know what this double penetration device is, but it should deliver my bloody phone. And, bloody hell.
They're the ones that fucked up the order of the Morrison's food box.
What, for us?
Well, ours came and the box was falling apart, but they didn't deliver it to my friend Anne.
At all?
No,
Oh.
and didn't let me know. It was me haranguing them, and they basically they dropped the box or whatever at 6:20 in the morning, and didn't do anything about it all day. So bearing in mind that this is a food parcel in right at the start of lockdown when food was scarce,
Uh-huh.
being delivered to a lady in her 80s, and they just fucked it up and didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, so they're not my favourite courier company.
Right. See, I'm getting tense. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this.
Yeah.
Like who I'm
Buy a
supposed to
phone
contact.
from somebody in this country that will deliver it in 24 hours.
Yeah, but I saved like £200 or something. I just couldn't get a deal on a phone. The whole thing was so arduous. Yeah, okay, I might have cocked up. Oh dear. this is a really bad time for my money to evaporate into the ether. Oh God.
Oh, it'll come. I'm
You
sure
reckon?
it'll come.
You
I
reckon?
I just think, for what you've saved and getting a green one, you should have
What do you mean, a green one?
the green phone.
The one with the specs I wanted just is green. It's not like I picked the green one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should have gone for the Samsung.
Well, again, like, it was eating me alive because I would have got the same phone as you,
Yeah.
except you got your phone for a really good deal,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't replicate it. It was going for like £200 more. So, yeah, I couldn't stomach that. I couldn't stomach paying £200 more for the same phone that you just got. Like, that was doing my head in. So, like, if I have to pay more money, I'm going to get a better phone, or try to. And I may have completely stuffed it. So, yeah, stressful. Anyway, that's your daily phone update from me, the guy who doesn't have a phone. Exciting. I know you're sick of hearing these stories. I'm sure these people are as well. Yeah, I can tell. Your face. Oh, well, go on. Back to your porn. Back to your fap. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.